Hello and welcome to the Intentional Parenting Academy Annual Conference of 2023. Our names are Sylvester and
Lola. How we met Coach Wendy. I met Coach Wendy via a WhatsApp platform I belong to, 2021, and I started following her anonymously. And then after 2022 TIP annual conference, we took the bold step to join the TIP inner circle, and we became yarders, and it has been a wonderful experience till date.
Our experience in the inner circle from December 2022 to date, 7 months from now.
It's been awesome. That's all I can say. Experience, they say, is the best teacher. You can just come and experience it. We've been able to learn how to connect properly with our children. We've been able to learn how to discipline the right way, far from what the world knows. We've been able to read books monthly and review it. This is awesome. We've been able to have different activities, understanding our children's learning styles and temperament. It's been awesome, and we are still counting.
Before we joined the inner circle, it was a struggle trying to get the children up in the morning, trying to give them a structured activity, trying to make them understand principles, emotional intelligence, and so many other things. How to coordinate in life, how to, transform from being who they are to a better person.
Yes.
But TIP gave us that opportunity to have a better family.
Yes. We are more calmer. We are more respectful towards each other. We do everything now with peace and calm, all because we are yarders. That is what we call ourselves in the inner circle, actually.
The University of Parenting in Nigeria.
Actually, it's throughout the worldwide. And so we encourage people that are in this conference to take this bold step and thank us later. Just come and be in the inner circle and your whole life, not only about parenting. I found purpose as a person while in the TIP. There are things I've not been able to do with my own life personally now. I've been able to find how to do it. Direction. TIP is the expectation, is all encompassing. You will learn how to reparent yourself first, and then you can now parent your own children better.
As Coach Wendy we always say, parenting is about us, not the children.
Exactly.
So what to expect in the conference in 2023? Be prepared. Grab a drink. Ensure you register. And when you do that, be attentive. Listen to what will be taught during the conference. And be prepared to change. Don't claim you know it all. Parenting have a manual.
Yes. And the manual is how you write it. Parenting indeed is war. And it is only those who are prepared, just like in the days of Noah, that will survive the flood of parenting in years to come.
The title of the conference this year again is the Battlefield of
Parenting.
The Battlefield of Parenting 2023. Ensure you register and be in the conference. Ensure you take home something, and ensure you inform a lot of people in your cycle, because when you have better parents around you, you also have a better children around you. Thank you.
We welcome you to 2023 annual conference.
Hello parents, my name is John Adegoke. I'm founder, CEO of House River. We are excited to be one of the sponsors of the 2023 TIP annual conference themed the battlefield of parenting. One of the reasons why we're sponsors to this conference is simply because our entire mission at House River revolves around parenting. In fact, what we're building is an investment app that allows African parents open trust accounts for their children and invest in dollar-denominated assets like stocks, ETFs, bonds, and other fixed income securities. Our entire goal with this is to democratize the idea of a trust fund, right? So historically, a trust fund has been something reserved for the super wealthy, right? But we're trying to ensure that every parent, middle class, upper middle class, working class, will be able to create a financial advantage for their children, so that as the children grow and they become adults, they are able to pass on these assets to these children and basically supercharge their financial independence. And this is something we're very excited and passionate about. And we saw that this conference had like-minded people who cared about their parenting skills, who cared about improving on how to be good, better parents. And we want to invite you all to join us for our launch this week, as we launch our apps on the Play Store and on the App Store, the Apple App Store. So go to our website, register.houseriver.com, to fill in your details and grab your spot. We're actually opening up to a limited amount of parents at the moment, as we scale to cover more ground. But for now, we're opening up to a limited number of people. So I want to encourage you to do that as soon as possible. At the end of this video, there will be the QR code that you can also scan, and the link will also be displayed. Thank you for listening to me, and I wish you a great time in this conference.
All over the world. And to maximize this year's conference, I'll encourage you to come prepared to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Get your notepads and your pen, and do not miss any session, because this is war. My name is Joy Eshimokai. Let's go to war.
Hello, everybody, and I think our moderator is having a bit of a challenge to be able to speak. She's been on the stream. I don't know why. Miriam, can you please speak? Can you hear us?
Hello, Coach. Good afternoon.
Please take over. The stream
is
yours.
Now?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Can you hear me now? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. Whoop, 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 whoop. It's the 5 TIP Annual Conference. I welcome you specially to this second session. My name is Miriam Kuhe, and it is an honor and my pleasure to be your host for this. I want to say a big thank you to Coach Wendy. I call her Coachy of Life, and the TIP team, opportunity to be your host for this session. I don't take it for granted. Thank you so very much. So it's been 5 days of learning, online, and relearning. What has been your rema? Let me see your comments in the comment section. The TL King was amazing and powerful. Please share your emojis. We love the fire emojis. to describe how mind-blowing the session has been for you. I heard something. I heard that parenting requires compassion, and parenting is a lifetime commitment. And he talked about the 4 dimensions of warfare. He talked about political dimension. He talked about human dimension, that we must recognize children are human beings. And he talked about uncertain dimensions and dimension of a contest of wills. Let me see your comments in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so TIP Inner Circle is an subscription-based coaching program that is transforming the lives of over 3,000 who are already into the coaching system. 2 years ago, I registered for the TIP conference. When I heard Coach Wendy speak, I said, oh my goodness, where has this woman been all my life? To convince me to immediately book a slot with 5,000 naira. And you also have to do that today. Book a slot, take advantage of the discount while you pay 70 couple slots. Before the 1st of August, the subscription and the annual subscription pay from 70 to 100,000 and to 150,000 respectively. So take advantage of this. Thank you so much. You won't regret it. I am proud to be a Yada. I am proud. Yeah. Okay, so at this point, I would like the team to roll out the inner circle from Yada. Team, take over.
Hello out there. My name is Abby with Abidemi, and my wife here, Lola. We're just here to talk about the Intentional Parenting Inner Circle Academy or Club. Actually, when the Inner Circle first started, it was my wife actually, and she had been joining for a while. You know, women now. What's this new style that this woman has brought to the house again? Let me just be looking at what's going on. But through the days, through the months, when she has been, what she has been learning, bringing it to the forefront, and how she has been parenting with the kids. Most of the time, when our kids do some very things that will almost drive you nuts, and you want to, and the woman says, no, don't spank, do this, do that, and I was like, what kind of new style is this one? You know, that kind of thing. And I noticed one thing, especially my daughter. There's a way my daughter reacts to my wife when it comes to some certain things. Like the way she calmly speaks to my wife calmly speaks to her. She responds very positively. And then that is where I noticed that you can get things done without spanking. You can get things done without beating. You can get things done without that kind of severe discipline that we were used to when we were young kids. And when I saw those changes, and I decided that I think there is a better way. I'm not a father that likes to beat in the first place anyway. But when I tend to see those changes, I decided that I think this is the best place to be, and this is the kind of these are the kind of principles I want to adopt. So if you're a parent out there, no matter who you are, the Inner Circle Academy Club is the best place to be. You get to learn a lot of things on how to intentionally parent with your child. You learn curriculums, you learn principles, you learn strategies, you learn skills. And skills, as we know, skills don't follow you. Skills are learned, skills are acquired. And the Parenting Academy is the most wonderful place to acquire and learn those skills. So let me not blab too much. Let me allow my wife to contribute to.
As my husband has said, TIP Inner Circle, if you're a parent out there and you want to learn to parent with structure, parent with calm, be more intentional in your journey as a parent. Because parenting is a learned skill, and the TIP Inner Circle is the place to learn these skills. So join us in the Inner Circle, or join us in the yard, as you say. I want to say thank you to Coach Wendy and the wonderful TIP team for the great work that they are doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
This is the CIP Annual Conference.
Dr. Lola Okelwo is a trained medical doctor and an autism professional. She works with parents of children with speech delay and autism by equipping them with tools and strategies to help move their children from little or no words to language explosion. She is the founder of Autism Renewed, an online consulting practice that focuses on helping children navigate developmental challenges and thrive. She is the host of Autism Renewed Conference, an annual event put together to educate parents and the public on how to help children overcome developmental challenges. Dr. Lola has vast knowledge in language development, nutrition, and behavioral management. With these, she created her signature program known as the Milestone Acceleration Program. This is a comprehensive training program that teaches parents how to help their children overcome speech challenges, language issues, and social skills and behavioral management so that they can thrive. Dr. Lola believes in putting the power in the hands of parents because a well-informed and equipped parent provides a child with a parenting advantage that helps them navigate through challenges and triumph in life. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Intentional Parents Annual Conference 2023, Dr. Lola Okelwo.
Children are shouting.
Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon, ma'am. Where are you from? How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Welcome,
Good evening,
ma'am.
Miriam. It's good to be here.
Good
Thank
evening.
you. Such a pleasure to be
Sino
here.
Yada. Let's make it
Yes,
loud
so.
for Dr. Omolola. It's good to have you. It's good to have
Thank
you.
you
Make
very
some
much. It's such a pleasure.
noise for Dr. Omolola. Welcome. I'm particularly looking forward to this session with you to learn more, to gain more. And as an educator, I get to interface and interact with these children when school resumes. Almost every session, I have a child or two that has special needs in my class. So I can't session. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
can't wait to learn and hear or add to my bank of knowledge. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, ma'am, you have
So I'm going to be sharing my slide.
to 50 minutes, and thereafter we can
Okay.
take questions. I know there'll be questions. Sorry?
Okay. Yeah. So I have some slides. I want you to let me know if you can see my slide. One second. So just give me a moment. I'm trying to upload my slide. Yep. Yes. Okay, let's go. It's showtime. Okay, let's go. Can we see my slides? Yeah. So good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone, whatever part of the world you are joining us today. It's such an honor to be here speaking at the TIP Annual Conference 2023. And I want to appreciate Coach Wendy, my coach, for the privilege, for the platform. I appreciate the amazing TIP team. All my yadas, I see you, particularly my senior yadas. Yes, I have to hear with the senior yadas. I see everyone. So let's get to work. So I'm going to be speaking on finding help for your child with special needs. And, I just realized that it was like I did a little bit of reverse of the topic, because I think the topic given to me was finding help for your special needs child. And I prefer to say for your child with special needs, because I feel that you don't qualify a child by the needs or by a challenge, or by a diagnosis, because a diagnosis or a challenge is what a child has, not who a child is. So not one of those professionals that would like to qualify a child by a challenge, because to me it shouldn't reflect their identity. It's just something that they have, and sometimes something that they overcome. So I'm talking about finding help for your child with special needs. So the aim of my talk today is to be able to empower parents and caregivers. Of course, most times we know parents are the primary caregivers, but there are certain situations that the caregivers may not be the parents. It could be a grandparent, it could be a relative. And like Miriam was saying, even if you're not a parent, she says she's an educator. Basically, everyone who is going to at one point or the other would encounter a child with special needs, and how they can help them to find help and support them. So the aim of today's talk is to be able to empower parents and caregivers to become hopeful, to become informed, and to be equipped to navigate the journey of finding the best help for their child with special needs. So some of the things we'll look at: an introduction. I will talk about you. You now means the parent or the caregiver as the pilot on this journey. I will talk about God, finding help from God, finding help from men, finding help as men, and finding help through resources. Then we conclude. So as a way of introduction, I would say that helping a child with special needs to navigate challenges and to help them to thrive can be a very challenging journey. It can be a marathon and not a sprint. So as a parent or a caregiver, you need to be very strategic, and you need to be informed on how to embark on this journey to getting the right help for your child. The theme of the conference is talking about the battlefield of parenting. Parenting is war. And for a parent who is parenting a child with special needs, if other parents are having 10 million lions, you probably have maybe a billion or 10 billion lions. So, and you know that how to prepare for this war of helping your child, you need to be very strategic, you need to be very informed, you need to be very intentional. So let's explore the concept of special needs. I know for most people, when they hear special needs, there are so many things that we normally would tag as special needs. A child has cerebral palsy, a child has diagnosed with cerebral palsy, diagnosed with Down syndrome, diagnosed with autism, diagnosed with ADHD, dyslexia. I know most of the time that's what we bracket as special needs. But for me, I like to say that every child is special, and they could have needs that are special per time and sometimes even per season. So I would always say, for example, a parent that has a child struggling with drugs, that season of life, the needs of the child in order to navigate that challenge during that season is special, and you still need to be strategic and informed. So when parents have challenges with their children at one point or the other, it is how do I put it? It's just like a parent has a child struggling in maths, struggling in academics. That season, to me, that condition is a special need condition. That means the needs of that child, the needs to help the child navigate that challenge at that point in time is special. And it's still the same concept of being intentional. There are various challenges that parents will face on their parenting journey, and those challenges can be individualistic, will be different even in different phases. So sometimes having a child with special needs, special conditions, navigating it is a season. So I like parents to have that mindset, and instead of a mindset of a death sentence, it's a mindset of a challenge on your parenting journey. So how can I be intentional? How can I be strategic? How can I be informed and equipped to help this child navigate? Because it doesn't change the fact that God entrusted that child to you. God gave you a child. Every child is special. Every child has a destiny. Every child is a nation. So the challenges they have and how you have to navigate will be different from parent to parent, from child to child. So I want you to have that concept, because it helps you to have a concept of facing the war, facing the battle, and being equipped and ready to navigate and help your child to triumph. So let's look at the concept of you. As the parent, you are the pilot on the journey to getting help for your child with special needs. Every other person is a co-pilot, whether it's people that are in the professional field, the medical field, that are medical professionals, the therapists, the educators, the school. Every other person is a co-pilot. As a parent, you are the pilot, because you are the central core that determines every help. For example, as a parent, you're the one that will determine the school your child will go. Even when it comes to medical professionals, you make the decision of the medical professional, you make the decision of the therapist, you make all those decisions. So as the parent, you're the core. It doesn't mean that you now have to become a pediatrician or a speech therapist or occupational therapist, or you have to become an educator or anything. No, but because you are the core that determines the decision-making process, you are the one that will determine how the tide will go, no matter what, no matter the professionals you have. If you as a parent don't take the pilot seat in order to be able to help your child navigate, in order to be able to advocate for your child, in order to be able to make the right decision and partner effectively with all these professionals, you are likely not to still see the result you want in your child. So I want parents to always have that mindset. And when you have the mindset, so whether you have a team of professionals working with your child, as a parent, you are part of the team. So there's something we call in medicine multiple disciplinary multiple MDT, multiple disciplinary team. So that means, for example, you have a team of different professionals or specialists working or with an individual or a patient. Sometimes you have a nutritionist, you have a speech therapist, occupational therapist, you have social worker, all those things. They call them MDT team, a team of professionals working together to help an individual. As a parent, you are part of the team. Most times I work with parents and I ask them questions. They say, okay, my child has a speech therapist coming around, and I ask them questions. Okay, what are the goals? What are they working on? They say they don't know. Okay, what okay, they just come, they are doing this activity. What is the aim? What are they trying to achieve? The parents will say they don't know. You cannot say that you don't know. You are the pilot. So once you take the position of the pilot, of course, it's not to fight with the therapist or the professional, but it's to be able to partner effectively. So you are the pilot. Every other person is a co-pilot. And when you have this mentality, it helps to drive effective help and support for your child. You as the pilot, what do you need to do? You need to get the right knowledge. The truth is that we're talking about parenting is war. We're talking about a battlefield. You cannot fight what you don't know. For my religious people, you'll be hearing something like, oh, God forbid. Oh, a lot of parents are in denial, God forbid, it's not my child's enemy's portion. Faith as a target. So you cannot even say that you're a religious person, you're standing in faith when your faith doesn't have a target. So what are you standing against? So getting the right knowledge entails seeking the right professional, but being knowledgeable about the condition, knowledgeable about what is going on with you. You need the right knowledge, not opinion. Oh, somebody said, my neighbor said, my cousin's daughter said, my sister said, oh, my child and this my neighbor's child, they were born at the same time, and my neighbor said it's because of this. Like, who is that your neighbor? What do you know about the condition? So you need the right knowledge, Then you need to build capacity, because it is a marathon, it's not a sprint. Like I said earlier, if generally parents you have 10 million lions chasing you, if parents with a child is special, you probably have 1 billion, because there may be so many things that you need to contend with, so many pressures, that from right, left, and center. So you need capacity. Yes, there are times that, okay, there could be a time that you are down, the doctor said this, and yes, that time can come, but as you are down, you brace yourself up back again. You cannot afford, when you're on the war front, you cannot just be down and just cry, oh, this has happened. No, you you need capacity, because your child is counting on you to be able to fight for them. Your child is counting on you, and God is counting on you to stand up and help your child. So you need capacity. It's not time to be lily-livered. It's not time to be weary. No, the journey is far. You need to have the right mindset of possibility. You know, it's one of the things that breaks my heart most time when I'm consulting a parent, and a parent was telling me, "Oh, will this child now be useless? Like nothing will happen." You know, it breaks my heart because I looked at the child. I'm like, your child is helpless at this time. Your child is counting on you. You need a mindset of possibilities. You know, regardless of what the professionals say. I'm a professional myself, but I tell you, medicine is limited. Medicine is evolving. Science is evolving. There are conditions years ago that didn't have a cure. But today, they have a cure. For example, scurvy. That is vitamin C deficiency that we know. If you go check the history of scurvy, years ago, people were dying of scurvy. No, the whole story. I think some people went on a trip on a ship and things like that. They were there for a few days, so they didn't have access to maybe fruits and things. So people were dying, only for them to later find out that it was a vitamin C deficiency. So in this day and age, how many people even really die from vitamin C deficiency? Very minimal. Maybe in countries where nutrition is an issue and things like that. But that's to tell you, have the right mindset of possibility. Have the right mindset of possibility. So you need that mindset on this journey as the parent. You go to school, oh, the teacher said this. Nobody is God. I always say something as a professional. I can tell a client and say, according to medicine, this is the maximum we can do. This is what we know. But I can never tell someone that nothing is possible because I'm not God. Nobody is God. Nobody has the right or has the power to say a child will never amount to something. Nobody can say that. We've had cases of people being on life support, having terrible diagnoses and conditions. And even as a medical person, we could not even explain how things turned around. Of course, I'm not now saying that it's a thing to now sit down in the place of denial, now sit down in the place of not doing anything. No, but the right mindset of possibility helps to connect you with solutions and answers. Then you need to guard your heart. You need to guard your eyes. You need to guard your ears and your mouth. I mean that guard your heart. Different thoughts of fear will come when sometimes as a parent you're going to your medical professional for assessment, or they're doing your child's maybe open day in school, or the teacher sends a letter or something, and those things have a tendency to weaken you. You need to guard your heart with what you feed yourself in. You need to guard your eyes with what you watch. Yes, I know that sometimes, like I said, you need to read about the condition and all that, but don't spend all your time watching things that are promoting the negative outcomes of that diagnosis or that condition. That's all you spend your time on. I know there are certain people who have this, maybe a reality program or a vlog where they share their life or their child with special needs and challenges. Well, I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't like the ones that just promote all the negative things that the child is going. It's hard though, just to make you see that I'm like, oh, I'm not quite alone. It's a normal thing. Feed yourself with possibilities. Feed yourself with children who are overcoming, who are triumphing, who have navigated the phase that your child is. And they may have maybe different conditions or different symptoms, but that mindset of possibilities, that mindset of can do, that mindset of great things that can happen. Watch those things. When you see testimonials of children who were struggling before, now they are triumphing, they are overcoming. Some of them are even adults. I've seen children or even adults that as children, I know there's a current professor of Cambridge, youngest professor in Cambridge, that he didn't speak until he was 11. He didn't write until he was 18. He's a professor and I think he's about 34 now. Those are the mindset of possibilities that you need to be feeding yourself with. Don't go and be sitting now on those reality shows. People just film their children throwing tantrums and crying, and they'll be saying, oh, it's because of the diagnosis. It's because he has ADHD. Oh, it's because he has this. That's why it's like that. That's the normal life. Don't feed yourself with that. So the day your child is experiencing that, you are consoling yourself someone that, oh, okay, it's a normal thing. Or you go to the school, the teacher is saying that, and the reason why your child cannot read is because the child has cerebral palsy. It's the reason why the child is not able to write is because the child has autism. And you should just sit down. That's what you're feeding with. Feed on possibilities. There are stories of people who struggle to write, but now they've overcome. Feed yourself. See what do you see about your child? Who do you see? Do you see? God has given you a seed. God has given you a destiny. God has given you a nation. When you sit down here, what do you see about your child? What possibilities are you carrying in your heart? Or what image are you carrying? You need to be intentional in doing that. Feed your ears. What are you hearing? Hey, they said, this one said, that one said, all negative things. That's what you're going to go and read about. How somebody something did not turn out right for this. So that one didn't happen. Don't feed yourself with those things. It's not a matter of being denial. It's about being intentional. You're guiding your heart. You're guiding your ears. You are keeping your eyes focused. You are intentional, because if you're doing the work, you are doing the work. Like Coach Wendy will always say something. And when parents come and say, okay, after all we now do this work, the child, it doesn't now turn out okay. Coach calls it self-fulfilled prophecy. After everything. So it's because you are watching all those people that their parents are saying, they've tried everything. This is how the child will be, or things like that. Don't sit down with that. Do not sit down with that. I've seen a professional who worked with an individual, 22 years old, spoke for the first time. 22. He had been in therapy for 20 years. He never spoke. Within a year, he started talking. What does that tell you? That tells you that the child had the ability all along, but needed a parent who will not give up, a parent who had a mindset of possibility, a parent who would keep pushing until something happens. Your mouth as well. What are you saying? What are you saying? You can think it. My father in the Lord would teach us something in my church, that you can think it in your head, but don't say it with your mouth. Whether you go and you have to, and it's training, because you may go to the hospital, or you go to the school. The professionals are the teachers. They are doing their work by telling you what is happening. The doctor is doing his work by telling you what the condition. You do your work as a parent by saying the right thing. I'm not saying you go to the doctor's office and say, I'm confronting your doctor. They're just doing their job. But guard your mouth. Train yourself with the right words. When you see your child, speak the right word. Speak what you want to see. Train yourself to do that. Yes, you could have low moments, but as those low moments come, bounce yourself back up again and remember, my child is a destiny. You're a nation. Say this, then think of testimonies of people that you saw, the same God that did this for this person, same God unto me. God, you gave me this seed, this child, as a seed to fulfill destiny, not as a burden. You need to train yourself like that. Do you understand? Then I'll talk about finding help from God. The truth is that, like I said, children, their gifts from God have been entrusted. They're not really our children. They're God's children that He has entrusted in our hands. And I cannot rule out finding help from God, because, like I told you, science is progressive. Even there are conditions today that don't have a cure and answer. In the next couple of years, science will find answer. But you know what? God has answer. God. Those conditions that we are just discovering answers, God has helped people with those conditions, healed them years ago. So, and I'm talking about finding help from God, being strategic. I'm talking about being strategic, not being religious. You don't sit down, jump from one prayer house to another, log on early morning. They're sending you, what do you call it, all these links. They're just jumping up and down. You pray strategically, you pray with knowledge. You pray not early morning prayer link. I'm not talking about that. Jumping from pillar to post, joining from this convention to that place. No. Am I saying that there's no power in those places? There is. But if you're not connected and doing it properly, you won't get results. I remember Coach Wendy will always tell us on our parenting journey, how did some of these things that we are seeing today start? When they were parenting their foster daughter years ago. And, she was having challenges on her parenting journey. And she took time to seek God. God, this is not working. What do I do? Help me. And that's how God started connecting her to resources, information on how to navigate. See, your prayer should be connecting you to the right steps, the right tools, the right resources to help your child. So that I'm saying, I'm not talking about prayer in isolation or prayer aloof. No. Prayer that connects you to solutions and answers. Like I told you, science is progressive. A lot of things are coming up. The professional you are speaking today is speaking from their own wealth of knowledge, where they know up to. There could be other people that will know other things, right information. Things like that. So when you're praying with the right knowledge. You're seeking with the right heart, with right answers to connect you solutions and answers for your child. So we cannot rule out the place of God, because at the end of the day, these are God's children that He has entrusted in our hands. And if they are His children, He needs to help us and guide us. But I'm talking about praying with intention, not praying aloof, praying and leaving the responsibility to God. No, but praying intentionally, seeking for solutions, and your path being connected to the right solutions and answers for your child. You need to have your faith in that. I always say faith is hear, talk, and do. I talk about what are you hearing? What are you hearing? What are you listening to? What are you saying? What are you doing? Your action. You can't finish praying and doing all the confession. And the next step, the next thing you say is the wrong thing. Will this child not amount to rubbish? Will anything come out of this child? I don't want this child to end up like this. Or the way the child is doing, it looks as if nothing good can come out of it. I cannot even do anything. You know, I don't like those kinds of things. Say the child cannot do anything. This one, nothing. That cannot do anything. Who say things like that? You know, you need to have hope. Like I told you, it's a marathon, not a sprint. The journey, so you need to keep hope alive. You need to, that has to do with things you're feeding yourself with. Then sometimes you need patience on this journey. You need patience. I see some clients coming to me and say, my child is not talking. I want the child to be talking by September. Sometimes I laugh. You know, it's like you put a time to it, a time clock to it. You know, so a parent talked to me and said, I want the child to write because that's the only way the child can amount to something or something funny like that. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? You need patience. Haven't done all. You stand. You keep doing. Keep sowing the seed. I know coach will always even tell us sometimes in inner circle when we're doing that, like, this isn't working. Are these children even change? She will tell you, keep at it. Keep sowing the seed. Keep doing it. Just ensure that you're sowing the right seed. So sometimes you need that patience in seeking. So I'm talking about, you're talking about finding help. So the fact that the help you have today, you keep going, keep patient. You know, if you need to be connected to the right help and solution, you know, as you seek God, He will direct your path. He will connect you solutions and answers for your child. And I want to talk about help as men and help from men. When I'm talking about help from men, I'm talking about having a support system. And the truth is that a support system does not necessarily mean your immediate family. Yes, it doesn't necessarily mean your immediate family, but have a support system of people, you know, who have the same mindset of possibilities as you do. A lot of people can love you and love your child. Doesn't mean they can help your child. Pity party will not change anything. Intentions will not change anything. Their feeling for you doesn't change anything. It's not about feeling for you. It's not about, we are praying along with you by mouth, not by life. You know, don't be afraid to ask for help, but ensure you are connected to find the right help. Find the right help. Don't be afraid to delegate, because sometimes it could be waiting on you. If you need to delegate. If you need to get help, so for example, maybe if you need to get you delegate some domestic duties, you can do that. If you need to buy equipment to do that, need a good support system, people that you can trust, not because they are related to you necessarily, no, but because they have the same mindset. We talk about that. I mentioned talking about a tribe. In NASEC, we talk about tribe. Tribe is not Yoruba and Igbo. Tribe are people that have the same common goals, common value, common belief systems. So what you are believing for your child, the possibility mindset you have, you need people that have the same mindset, not somebody who believes that nothing good can come out of it. Once the child is like, that's how the child is going to be. That kind of person shouldn't be in your tribe. That should not be the kind of person that is part of your support system. Your support system is someone that in case you get carried away and you say something negative, the person can bring you back. That what did you just say, and correct you, and immediately you align yourself. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Person keeps reminding you, keeps putting you back on that, keeps standing with you. Someone that shares common value with you, not just common value for life, but common value in terms of what you believe about your child. The same belief system. That's the tribe that I'm talking about. Not necessarily by blood, not necessarily by being a relative. No, you need that tribe and support system. Help as men. You need the right professionals, both medical professionals, you need therapists, support, the right professionals. There are many good professionals. A good professional may not necessarily be the right professional for your child. So you need the right professional. What qualities should you be looking out for in men? But even in professionals, you need to be mindful of the professionals that you go to, the professionals that have a possibility mindset as well for your child. Not the professional that will come and will say, I consider we a parent, and the parent was telling me they went to a professional. The professional was saying that there's something wrong with the child's brain. The child's brain can never do something. When I saw this, I just feel like, it just breaks my heart. You are not God. This is what it says. This is what medicine, that's the marks that you know. But you can't say a child will never. You can say maybe according to science, this is the prognosis, or these are the limitations, and this is what we can offer. That is what you can say. So be mindful of the professionals. Don't be professionals that are speaking negative, into your child. You've gathered a little bit of faith and hope, and you're holding on, and you go to the or professional's office or a teacher's office, and all they have to say about your child is all the negative things. Yeah, a teacher or an educator can say, "Oh, the child is still." There are ways to. Like, a parent sent me something about a report of her son, and when I read it, I had to tell her that the first thing I'm concerned about is this educator that is in charge of your child. The tone in the thing was all a mindset of impossibilities. He cannot do this. You can say he hasn't attained this yet, but he has attained this. You're talking like a child. A child is like nothing, not like nothing good can come out of this person. You be talking like that. So for me, I'm mindful. Be mindful. As a professional, I'm mindful of how I speak to my clients. So look for professionals who have a possibility mindset. They're not giving you false hope, but at the same time, they're not like shutting all hope lost kind of thing. So, like I said, the help as men and help from men. People that have the perspective of hope and possibilities. Even though I'm talking about your support system and tribe, let there be people that have the right to. Notice now, I've not talked about their level of certification of degree. I've not talked about that. Because having people that have the right mindset for your child of possibilities. I always tell people and ask them, who is a good doctor or who is a good professional? Do we hear people say, oh, or if you're in the comment section, can you tell me, how do you define a good doctor or a good professional? Let me even see before I go on. I will take a pause. If someone can answer that question, if you want to define who a good doctor is or who a good professional is, can you define for me? I would like to see what you guys have to say. Okay, someone said, I want someone to define if a professional is speaking negative about the problem he's to solve. He's not a professional, he's joining a secretary. Define who a good professional is for me. One that gives hope in every situation, okay? Okay, any other person before I proceed? So a professional that is knowledgeable, has the right skills and is empathic, okay? Who else? I'll get like 2 more people, then I'll tell you. Someone who knows the job, can empathize and see possibility, yes. Okay, any other person? One who has the right technical, someone that can be honest with you but give you hope is a professional. A good professional is one who knows the prognosis, yet encourages his client to hope for the best. Okay, a good doctor is one who knows his boundaries. Oh my God, that's it. Nyonle, you got it right. Are you a doctor? Because that's not what they think they teach us in medical school. A good doctor, a good professional is a professional that knows his limits. Not necessarily a professional that has best skill. Yes. A good professional, a good doctor is a doctor. I want to tell people that you only got it, apt. A good doctor is a doctor that knows his boundaries, knows his limits. So they teach us in medical school. You are not a good doctor necessarily because you're trying to do James Bond, do everything. And sometimes even parents or clients don't really know that. So why am I saying that? So even in talking about the boundaries, I have the boundaries, the mindset. I know my limits I'm talking in special needs. I'm talking about, specifics what I'm talking about. I know my limits, that science has limits, but science is evolving. So even as a good doctor or professional, I shouldn't tell someone that nothing is not possible because I'm speaking based on my limits of what I know. And that's my boundary. So a good professional is a professional that knows his limits and you know when to refer. You know when something is beyond your scope and you know when to refer. Sometimes people don't like when a doctor says, I need to refer. They feel like the doctor is not a good doctor. It's a good doctor. He knows his limits and he knows when to refer you further. It's a good doctor. That's what they tell us in medical school. A good doctor is a doctor that knows his limit and knows when to refer. So even in terms of talking about what I'm talking about now, knowing the limit in this context now is you telling somebody that something is never going to happen, never going to be possible. That means you are saying that that's the ultimate. But no, science has its limit, but science is evolving. What you're even speaking from is from what you know. So the qualities you look for in men, talking about men now as professionals, men help as men, help from men, people that can stand in faith with you, people can lift up your countenance, So in looking for those expertise that you're looking for, all these things are very important as far as I am concerned. People that cheer you up and not pull you down. There's some people that even on a normal day, maybe you're feeling down about something. When you pick up the phone to talk to them, when you finish that conversation, it's as if you are worse than when you spoke to them. So that's kind of who you are. Everything that oozes out, they're the ones that will send you the next story of the child that wasn't doing well. The negative, how the things are hard and things are not. Those are the kind of links that they share. There are some people like that. That by the time you finish watching what they've sent to you, you are so downcast. I tell people I protect my emotions generally. So you see all this one that they will say there's one movie. One man, he suffered. They accused him of what he didn't know. That's how his wife now died. They now went to jail for 10 years. He saw those kind of movies. Feed myself with those kind of. If you don't send those kind of links to me, send them. It's almost like, it's a Christian movie. The lesson, which lesson? What those kind of feed myself those kind of content? If someone asks someone else suffer. So the day all these movies are the man was misbehaving. He showed the woman pepper in the marriage. The woman was one praying. You are now watching them and I say, yeah, oh, yeah. The day your husband now does something in your subconscious mind is looking at, in that movie, that's how the man started. That's how it does, because you're feeding yourself with things like that. For people that are going to cheer you up, pull you down, whether intentionally or not. Sometimes people don't mean it, but this is not about they didn't mean it. I'm not talking about whether they mean it or they didn't mean it or they meant it or what. It doesn't matter. Look for people who are there to cheer you up, who are there to tell you stories of possibilities. As a professional, I like to share possibilities with clients. When a child comes, I share stories. We'll see this person. Oh, this child was 22 for the first time he spoke. And the child was like, oh, my child isn't just 10. Okay, there's hope. Oh, this child didn't get potty trained until 6. Look at this guy, he's a professor of this. And he didn't start talking until 11. He didn't write until 18. He's 30 something. He's a professor. Those are the things you want to, you want to surround yourself with. Those are kind of professionals. And when you leave their office, even though yes, it looks like the diagnosis or the prognosis is really bad, but there's something they are feeding your spirit with. It cheers you up, it bounces you back, it equips you. Those are the kinds of help that you need. Then you need to be aware of evil speakers, people that are speaking negative things about your child. Let me tell you, whether it's an educator or a professional, they are not doing you a favor. So don't have this mindset, this helpless mindset, as if everybody they are doing you a favor. The parent I was talking about, I told her, you need to really evaluate this school. Your child in the right school. Your child shouldn't be under this kind of educator, having this kind of mindset. They're not doing you a favor. Look for another school. Don't think there's no other option. No, there are options. If you have the right mindset, you keep connecting you. Most of us are in inner circle. I'm sure you were thinking on your parenting journey that your child, that was giving you challenges, maybe behavioral challenges, a strong weak child. You thought there was nothing. You have heard all children are like this, but you're surprised when you join inner circle. Some of the strategies, some of the things coaches, you are seeing things change. You're seeing your life change. You're seeing your marriage change. But if you had the mindset that it was not possible, you cannot parent without yelling, you cannot parent without beating. I'm sure a lot of us had that mindset, but look at today in inner circle, it is very possible. It's very possible. Beware of people that have a negative mind, beware of toxic people. We're going to be speaking negative things into your child. But the posture you take determines what someone can be saying about your child. What are you saying about your child? How are you posturing? The truth is that there's a way you appear, that even if they are thinking it in their mind, they will swallow it. They're not going to say it out because you are not coming with a helpless mindset. Yes, the educator is helping your child in school, but they are not the custodian of the child's destiny. So they don't have a right to speak negative and say what the child can or cannot do. Let them speak within their boundaries and limitations and expertise and knowledge. Then resources. You need to invest in getting the right knowledge in order to know the right resources that can help your child. You need to invest in getting the right knowledge, not just hearsay. This person said, that person said different things. Then you need to research. I highlighted this because, like I said, science is progressive. Knowledge is progressive. You need to research, even as professionals, things are evolving. And that's why I'm talking about the professional with the right mindset. A good professional, maybe you discover an idea, you heard something. You should be able to bring it to your professional. I heard this. And they should be able to use their professional lens to look at it. You have professionals who say, okay, I've not heard about this thing before, but I think I'll research and look at it. Not the professional say, well, like, what are you saying? Like, they know what are you saying, what they're saying, and just discard what you're saying. So you need to research and research. There are new discoveries every day. And one thing with the medical system is that even if there are things that are working generally, they don't automatically incorporate them into the medical curriculum or the system right away. It takes a lot of processes. So it doesn't necessarily mean the thing is a bad thing. So you need to keep researching. Don't have a fixed mindset. Don't have a fixed mindset. Oh, they have said once a child is 6, this cannot happen again. Or once a child is 7, once he can't walk, he cannot walk again. Don't have a fixed mindset. I've seen people who have, who has cerebral palsy, who couldn't walk, who couldn't write, who couldn't speak. They are doing amazing with the right knowledge, with the right information happening for them. So we keep researching. Do not give up. It's a battlefield. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Keep researching. Like I said, as you seek God, as you pray, as you get the right knowledge, it connects you with solution and answers. Most of us, it was when you were researching for an answer on your parenting journey. That's how you came across coach. When you were researching, you were burdened about your child. You were struggling with parenting. You were struggling with yelling. You were struggling with structure in your house. You were struggling with a strong-willed child or whatever challenge your child was having. In your research, you came across TIP, and TIP has been a blessing. The same thing, like I told you, it's just a peculiarity of the challenge you're facing on your parenting journey with a child with special needs, the peculiarity of it. But the principles are the same. So do not give up. You need to research. Coach used to say something in inner circle. The ability to research is a skill. For a long time, I used to think that what was she talking about until I got to understand that, the ability to actually research effectively is a skill. Maybe conversation for another time. Resources, the right environment. When I'm talking about the environment, home, school, everywhere everywhere your child would engage in or with is an environment. The home environment, the school environment, even accessing therapy, going to clinics and all those things is part of the environment. So you need to create the right environment for your child. You need to ensure that your environment is functional, environment is supportive for your child. But if you don't even understand the context of everything your child is going through, how do you create the right environment? If your child is sensitive to noise and you don't even understand hypersensitivity, you don't understand sensory stimulation, you don't understand all those things, how do you know to create the right environment that is functional? You have a child that is hyperactive, a child that has ADHD, hyperactive, and has to be and is also a kinesthetic learner. That means that you need space. You need somewhere for the child to really express themselves. You should not be the one to take a house on 3rd floor where there's balcony and you're shouting. Don't go to the balcony. Don't go to the balcony. You should not be the one that you're having your China wear. You have China wear. You now say the child kicked ball and broke your China. What are you doing with China wear with a child that is young and running around all over the place? Create the right environment. That's the kind of help. Help now is not just external. Remember, I'm talking about you. You are part of the help. You are the core help for your child. So if you go take the child to all the therapy, every time you come back home and the home environment is not supportive for your child, that is lack of the right help in the home environment. So you must create the right environment. You must have the right tools that will support your child thriving in your house, the right gadgets. If you need supportive gadgets, if your child has challenges walking, do you have gadgets? Do you have things that make life easier? Do you have the right books, the right toys, right tools? In the line of work I do, of course, I consult with parents of children with speech delay and autism. But of course, I consult with parents generally. Sometimes I see things online. One of the things that I've found out is that sometimes parents don't know the right tools to engage their children with. They don't know how to create the right environment that is functional for their children. For example, this is holiday season now. Most people, they've carried the children to holiday lesson. They've carried them they bundle them to one grandma's place. They don't know how to engage them constructively at home for learning and for fun. The right books to buy, the right toys to buy, the right play. You hear things like, oh, my child plays too much. There's nothing like a child plays too much. So if you are here as a parent, you find yourself saying, my child plays too much. It's just that you don't know how to channel play. Play is a tool that you can use to build skills in a child. So creating the right functional environment. I once consulted with a parent, and the child had mobility issues and things like that. And I was asking her things, okay, do you take the child out? Like, oh, Jack cannot do this. I said, have you tried this? I've not. She's just assuming. Do you allow the child to do this? Have you attempted it? You say the child cannot. I say you have sentenced the child. You are not even making any effort. Do you take the child out? You say the child can. I say, have you tried it? Is it that the child couldn't cope in the environment? Is it that the child was throwing tantrum? Does the child have sensory overload with noise? And when I encouraged her, I said, stop limiting your child. take the step, try. And I got a feedback from her like, oh, for the first time she took the child, they went shopping to the mall. Even though the child had mobility issues, but she got a wheelchair. The child got to experience, outdoor. And she said, well, like she could see the disposition of the child. That's what I'm talking about. The right environment. Part of the help that you need for your child, you need to create the right environment for your child. Because help is not just you do therapy 1 hour a week, 1 hour a day. You must convert help into practicality of daily life and daily living for your child. The right tools. And as I told her, I said, like, okay, your child has language challenges, but do you have toys? There are certain toys that you can use to engage a child, depending on their level. You can start. There are toys that even if the child doesn't have any language, any awareness, there are toys that you can use to begin to build awareness, focus, concentration, instead of saying the child is just everywhere. So, I wrote that I have this toy guide that I talked about all the different types of toys, and now you can use them to build skills in a child. I also have a book coming up, building language through play and building language through toys. There I focus on using toys, play as tools to build language, specifically for children who have language challenges. But like I said, language is a skill. I always say language is a learned skill. It's like any developmental skill. So whether a child has a developmental challenge, every child gonna need to develop cognitive skills, develop focus and concentration. See, what happens is when a child has what we call special needs or developmental challenges, what it means that their rate of acquiring the skills that other children will acquire will probably be delayed. So you have a 4-year-old that cannot yet walk. So a normal 4-year-old can walk. So the progression of development, and that could be due to different things. Maybe there are different factors. It could be genetic. So what you're trying to do is to find ways to mitigate all those factors to support the child to build those skills. Because the more skills a child will build, the more they're able to navigate that limiting challenge that is making you qualify them and say special need. That special need is that they have a need that is special. So you now need to pay attention to be strategic with the right tools, with the right environment, to build the right skills and right system to help the child to navigate and to thrive. So I hope you understand that concept now. So lastly, I talked about systems, structure, and skills. That's what I just explained. If you have the right mindset, the truth is that when a child is delayed in a skill, whether it's language is a learned skill. So what it means is that what skill do I need to build in order to navigate this level of delay and help the child go higher? Because the truth is that what happens is that for most people generally, it looks like we learn things naturally. So you pick language naturally. But the truth is that if I break down the steps of language acquisition for you, you'll be surprised. But because you're doing it effortlessly, for a child that is now delayed, you're not trying to help to intentionally build that language. The truth is that nobody outgrows any particular thing. I'll give you an example. When a baby is born, the baby cries for everything. But as the baby grows, the baby acquires language. They don't need to cry when they want to, they can tell you. But a child that now has language delay, it means that the higher skill that they need is missing. So what you're trying to do is to find the right help that will help them acquire that higher skill so that you don't see the lower skill. So you hear parents say that my child is 4-year-old, they should not be throwing tantrum by now, they should have outgrown it. No, nobody outgrows anything. We build higher skills. So when you're even thinking that a child has special needs, that's why you must get knowledge, understand the concept and the context of the things the child is struggling with. And you're thinking the level they are and the skills you need to begin to build. And that's where systems and structure will come into play. You have a child with ADHD attention problem. So what are the structures and systems you are putting in place to build the skills the child needs? That will be the help the child needs to triumph. So the child has cerebral palsy and have challenges walking. What are the skills? What are the things that are limiting them? There's something that can be limiting that needs to be worked on. Then the skills that now needs to come in. What happens if you don't remove those things that you need to remove? The child can struggle. And that's why professionals come in. When the professionals are doing an assessment, what are they assessing for? They're assessing on things that could be limiting the child from acquiring those skills. Or sometimes therapy and professional, what you're doing, you're trying to build a bridge for the child over that challenge to navigate and to thrive. So in conclusion, you can create a brighter future for your child with special needs. You need to get the right knowledge. You need to be intentional in building systems and structure. And you need to embrace the journey ahead with hope and determination. So lastly, I've shared this word. God placed it on my mind. If I hear you have a child with special needs, and you hear you're burdened about the child, I'm here to tell you that reframe your eyes from weeping, reframe your eyes from weeping, your voice from tears. Your works shall be rewarded. I know you're laboring, you're touring, your works will be rewarded. God will visit you. God will find help. There is hope in you, and do not give up. It's a battlefield, but brace up
Amen.
and fight, because there's victory at the end. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Coach.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Coach Omolola.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you
If you're
so much.
looking to listen to Miriam, I think your network is recurring back, and I don't know why. Thank you, Coach Omolola. Of course, if you listen
Thank
to
you,
Coach
Coach.
Okay.
Omolola, it's very obvious that this is someone, if you have a special needs child, this is somebody that you should go and talk to, right?
Wow.
I don't need to say more. I wish we have more time. We're already
Yeah.
3 minutes into the next session, and we need to jump right into that next session. But this is just me
Okay.
telling you that the people that I the people that I work with are special people. So just
Yes,
just
sir.
just just if you have listened to Coach Obalala, you will know that fire do not produce water. Fire produces what fire. That's what it is. All right. I am
Yes,
really
sir.
proud and I'm very honored to have you on this stream again, Coach Omolola. Coach Omolola is someone that is very close to me. So
Yes, sir.
that word, someone that I have mentored for a while now, and proudly so. Thank you so much for bringing
Mm.
so much light to today's conversation.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. And Coach Amala is also a senior yada. You know what we call senior yadas?
So,
Senior, yeah, serious senior yada. All right.
we're
And
there from the beginning.
yes, so
The
people that were
beginning.
there from the beginning of Inner Circle when it started, as people that didn't understand where I was going, and they were saying, Coach, you know what? You don't know where you are going, right? We're going with you.
And we are here
Thank you
4 years.
so
We
much.
are going nowhere.
Yes, so
Right
thank you
here.
so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And please follow
Mhm.
Coach Omolola. Ask Dr. Lola. All right. Team, please be patient with us. We are coming,
All
we
right.
are ending this now. Ask Dr. Lola on Instagram. All right, please. But you know
Okay.
how we do it. Biko, just go on Instagram. If you really appreciate what it is that Coach Omolala has done today, Dr. Omolola, we call her differently, Coach Lola, Dr. Omolola, I call her Omolola, especially from my mouth to God's
Yes,
ears.
sir.
Yeah. So if you want to, find more resources, Coach has a toy guide that you should get. Like I always say, I do not recommend resources because I want to recommend them, or somebody came to me and said, please let me give you some money so I can recommend my resources. I said, I know they do that kind of thing. If you know me, I don't. Money, that's not part of my problem. So I recommend resources because it's worth it. So if you have, you have toddlers, you're thinking of, toy and all of that, please get that toy guide. You would come back with tithes to me and I collect. I don't used to say
Yes,
no.
sir.
All
Yes, sir.
right.
And I
So
have a
follow.
I have a free webinar for parents of children with speech delay coming up.
Awesome.
I'm going to be demystifying speech delay. So it's called speech delay
Okay.
demystified. So if you
Hmm.
have a child with speech delay, you come. And also the coach, the self mastery program, for parents, whether you have a child with special needs, or struggling with the phase of life, understanding your season of life and moving on. So by popular demand, coach, we are doing the program to help you so you can create your structure for your life, whether you have a special needs child or not. Remember, I talked about special needs, different phases of your life. Your children would have needs that are special. So you need to be strategic and understand how to navigate that season of life in order to help your children. So I have all those programs coming up. Thank you, coach. I appreciate the privilege for mentorship, for access, platform. I'm very good to you. I love you, coach.
I love you too. Of course, you know that already. Thank you so much, Malala. Please go and rave over these coaches. Please do me a favor. If you really love what has happened here, follow
Thank
Ask
you.
Dr. Lola. Like I always say, these are the real celebrities. Don't just go and follow anybody. These are the people you should be following, their parents. Thank you. See you again right now as we jump in to go and have
Yes.
one of my actually my what the team lead, right? He's actually on a session. You want to listen to Precious. You want to listen to Precious. Let's jump in there. See you there.
Thanks, Miriam. Bye.